Hello and welcome to podcast 12. Today we have become a bit more exploratory in topic. We are going to try and be influential. Some may say it's philosophy, some may say it's psychology. Personally, I say it's a thrill seeker's guide to surviving some of the UK's extreme coasters. Who has been to a park, looked at a coaster and thought, goodness me, I can smell something bad coming from my undies? No, me neither. But honestly, it took me 3 trips to Alton Towers before I felt brave enough to ride the Smiler. Here is an aerial shot of the Smiler. If you don't already know, the Smiler is a world record holder. It has 14 inversions. Oh yes, 14. You can't see them all here, especially the first one because it's in the dark before you coast onto the outside track. Anyway, let's talk more about survival as opposed to scaring coaster novices. Prior to me going to Alton Towers, I had been to Thorpe Park in 1995, the American Adventure Park in 1998, and Phantasialand in 1999. All three of those are very different places now. It had been a long time since I had been on a coaster on the first day that I saw the Smiler. I had already been at Towers for most of the day. X Sector was the last area that we visited. As we walked up to Smiler, the music struck me. I loved it. I really loved the dark, chaotic beat. Although I loved the music, it also built a mental image of what the ride might be like. I had already been on the original Nemesis and Galactica. Nemesis gave me a buzz. Galactica was my first flying coaster. It was, and still is, a pleasure to ride it. But something was making me tick about the Smiler. The eerie soundtrack, the marmalizing, and the smoke effects. It was real good fun to look at, but all these factors were resonating in my mind. I could hear screams of pleasure, but also of happy fear, so to speak. I enjoyed watching the Smiler for roughly 10 minutes right by the entrance. I could strongly sense my anxious heartbeat. I was desperate to ride it, brewing up the confidence, knowing time was running out for the site closure. I looked at my partner, who was less keen than me. I think we both agreed that we were tired, and it was probably better to try it next time. I walked away buzzing. I loved everything about the Smiler. I need to ride it. But I knew I needed to build up the confidence to ride. As we drove home, our conversation involved the 14 inversion record-breaking coaster. We both diverted our fear into tiredness, blaming our long day on avoiding it. Anyway, we headed back up to Towers roughly a month later. This was inclusive on a mini tour that we did, which also involved Flamingo Land and Drayton Manor. We both did Sick and Shockwave respectively. Doing both these coasters kind of helped. Sick had 10 inversions and lap bars. Shockwave was then a stand-up coaster. Neither of these even touched the sides of my fear senses. This was just a buzz. So back to Alton Towers we went. Slowly but surely, we made our way around the park to finally arrive at X Sector. This time, our slow approach to the Smiler was more intentional. We knew what to expect from its appearance. I was feeling more ready this time, but my partner was quietly cursing. I heard it. I was buzzing to do it, less fearful this time. I could see my partner was still terrified. I made an excuse. I said I was overtired, I wanted to get home. The panic stopped, we made our way out of the park. I drove home feeling satisfied that no one had been forced to do anything they did not want to do. That day passed and I was feeling more determined than ever to ride Smiler. So I joined a specific roller coaster riding group for those that didn't have anyone to ride with. This was my third visit in as many months to Alton Towers. I was totally hooked. The group looked at ride availability. We saw the queue for Smiler was pretty short. Before you know it, we were in the queue ready to get marmalised. Every member of the group I was with had been on Smiler before. I felt nothing but confidence from them. It really helped me, actually. Every bit of anxiety I had felt before had turned into confidence. We got on the ride and it was unreal. Nothing like the mental image I previously manifested. Smiler was purely incredible. My previous ride partner explained that they aimed to do the same, conquer the Smiler. So my next visit was with them. This time we sat next to each other, and we still, both to this day, rate Smiler as one of our best coasters. So let's get to the point. What lesson have we learned here about surviving an extreme coaster? Smiler had a reputation for a serious accident. That reputation has been smoothed out. What I'm saying is, it can be good to do your research. For example, Smiler is a Gerstlauer made record-breaking roller coaster. What breaks the record? The number of inversions. So for me, 14 inversions was scary. I built myself up. I did sick at Flamingo Land. 6 layout was less hard to see the entire content. Having done 10 inversions, I knew the next step in the UK was Smiler. It's only 4 more inversions, right? So that was an element of persuasion. Back to the fact Smiler is a Gerstlauer. My point here is do your research. Gerstlauer coasters are not well known for incidents. The Smiler incident was actually a ride operator fault. It was being operated in weather conditions that it should not have been. It's been in the media a lot this year about theme parks closing rides in bad weather. I've been to towers where they offer refund days. I mean, that doesn't count for me as an annual pass holder, but for the ticket buyers, this is fair compensation. It leaves a good impression that Merlin care for their customers. Meaning, I felt I could trust the media when it says Smilers has not had an incident since 2015. Lastly, being with experienced riders was definitely a bonus for me. I felt their positive energy transferred into me. None of them tried to alarm me, over persuade me. It was just a welcoming vibe that helped me cure my curiosity. So that's how I rode the Smiler. All I can say is you don't have to ride a coaster on your first time of seeing it. It can be a bit daunting and require some build-up practice before doing it. Don't accept peer pressure and work within your boundaries. I cannot express enough how much riding with experienced riders can make you feel calm. Don't feel defeated if you and your friends feel scared. There are numerous roller coaster groups that have great people who have felt like you before. Anyway, we can't hang on to the Smiler any longer. There are other extreme coasters to talk about. When I mean extreme, this one is a world topper. It's the fastest accelerating coaster in the world. It's the one and only Stealth. It goes from 0 to 80 miles per hour in 1.8 seconds. Yes, wow. No other coaster launches like this Intamin heavyweight. It's not just speed. This coaster is a hypercoaster, meaning it's still and it reaches heights over 200 feet. To be precise, it is 205.1 foot tall. By looking at the pictures on screen of Stealth, take note of a few things. The bottom of the train carriage is firmly tightened around the course of the coaster. Sensors will be present notifying the ride operator of any lack of security in the wheel system. This is ironed out with testing on a daily basis. A second note I would like to add is that you can see that people are clearly having fun. Let's say you are near the queue. You can see people coming off the ride still excited. You can see people waiting full of excitement. Nobody is getting off the ride being sick and complaining of it being a poor ride. These must be calming measures, right? I'm going to reveal a secret now. Stealth is not my favourite coaster. I ride it nearly every time I go to Thorpe Park, multiple times if I get the chance, but every time I get on it for the first time in the day, I feel something. I know I have been on it before and felt the buzz, but every first ride of the day for me is like a new experience. I have to go through a mind cycle and prepare myself for it. What I am saying is, sometimes you need to prepare yourself more than once. Don't feel like it's not normal to brace yourself over and over again. I am being totally honest, this is why Stealth is not my favourite coaster. I think too much about it. I do like it, but I have to prepare myself every time. Whereas with the Smiler, I just love getting back on it again and again. Please don't take that as negativity about Stealth. It's my way of getting back on Stealth to experience that world record again. So let's reflect. Observe ride engineering, whether that be the manufacturer, coaster parts, or even on-ride POVs. It doesn't hurt to check out a coaster before you ride it. Second big tip, watch other people's reactions. This may help you make your decision. Of course, most importantly, consider yourself. It's you who knows your own boundaries. So let's move on to the last one in consideration today. More of a funny one, this one. It's a Zamperla Volare. Does anybody find this teasing? I do, as I know what it is already. It's the one and only hero at Flamingo Land. Most vloggers describe this ride as anything around the word awful. Literally described as the most uncomfortable roller coaster in the UK. I don't agree. Well, I do, but I don't. It's the most extreme survival coaster that we have. Hero is far from scary in its track appearance. It's family styled in layout, but the train carriage is like something from The Fifth Element, if you know that movie. I'm not going deep with this one. All I can say here is being muscular helps. It's called Hero for a reason. I found myself literally supporting my entire body weight in a Superman position, yep, flying position, holding up my weight with my legs and arms. This was to stop my body from being battered by the roughness of the ride. My only words of advice are be strong. Anyway, folks, there are many extreme coasters in the UK. I hope my points are useful and help you search your own tangents. That's it for today. See you soon.